Hello, RJB here, and I thought it would be fun to bring you something different. Once again, it is today going to be some 2 versus 2 on the Korean map for a change. Always the Korean map. And today we've got ourselves some really fun players to watch. Because we've got Ship Carry here, the Brown Protoss, and he's teamed up with Mong. Pro player Mong, he's a Terran monster. And they're up against Toki and Mulgogi. And Mulgogi, in fact, is the player. I forgot. I gotta look it up real quick. This is really bad. I just happened to forget. Mulgogi is wow, I can't believe I forgot. It's Hiya. Hiya. I'll type that in the chat here. Hiya. So we've got Mulgogi, Hiya. He's playing the Black Zerg, teamed up with Toki. Lovely rabbit here on the top. He is whatever this color might be. Is it pale blue? Is it gray? Is it what is it? I don't know. It should be exciting to watch, even though the matchup does seem a little bit lopsided in favor of Ship Carry, known as Minchul, and Mong, because they got the double Protoss, and here we've got he's starting off really weird, honestly. He's going for Dragoons, it seems. Whereas Hiya is going for Zergling speed and Zerglings. Something that's quite out of the ordinary, quite far out of the ordinary. Given that your experience is from the Western perspective of 2 versus 2. And you haven't really seen this happen all that often, because yeah, this is far from conventional for Western standards when it comes to fastest map 2 versus 2. Zerglings are on the way. There is the cybernetics core, which I once again have to just add to that it's so extremely risky, because the zealot there is gonna be coming out for Mong, and it's going to be trying and abusing Toki here on the top side of the map. Toki is not producing a zealot. He does soon have that cybernetics core finished up, and this zealot will by then probably arrive right around here. He'll have his Dragoons on the way before that zealot hits the probes. But the Zerglings here are on the way as well, trying to go for the counter, or are they going to try and support Toki with getting his Dragoons up? But at the same time, of course, Ship Carry also has Zealot out, and he's looking for something to do with that Zealot. I'm not quite sure what he's planning on doing. He's scouting the map, it seems. He doesn't quite know where Mulgogi is located. I think he scouted Mulgogi, but he went the wrong way. So here, the Zealot is being scared away. Zerglings are just standing there to zone it away. Dragoons are on the way there as well. Looks like Mong is already adding on gas and adding a cannon as well. Whereas Ship Carry is doing the exact same thing. And he's planning on transitioning into very early Dragoons, because he put down that cybernetics core right over there. More Zerglings coming out for Hiya. But Hiya is being pushed back into his base. He's got 2 Sunkens there in the back. Safe. Very safe 2 Sunkens. Although they are not enough to fight against Dragoons. Once Dragoons do have range, but he already has Zergling speed out and on the way. Zerglings are now moving out. Looks like Toki is microing against those Zealots here inside of his base and doing quite well at that. But there's another Zealot right here in the mix. Toki didn't really lose any of his probes. Mulgogi, of course, only on 4 drones, as is usual and completely normal with this strategy that he's trying to pull off here. And Zealot still running around, trying to stay alive, but the Dragoons are going to catch it once the Dragoon range finishes up. More Dragoons have finished up here. He's trying to go for the push, but more Zealots are here in the corner, waiting for their time to strike and kill those probes there. Zealots here fighting, meeting Dragoons. Dragoons gonna be marked backwards. Zerglings coming in from the back to flank. But the Zealots here moving in on those probes. The probes have nothing there to defend them. No Dragoons are here. Dragoons are still on the way. Dragoons are all the way out here on the middle of the map. And the Zealots now have 3 shots on those probes. The probes are going to be going down very, very quick. Toki's going to try to unstack them and have them deal some damage to the Zealots. And do note that he cannot use stack attack. Now the Zerglings are coming back in. Dragoons also spawning as well, getting us around on those Zealots. Zealots now going down. At the same time, the attack is happening here inside of Mong's base. Mong does have some Zealots on the way, but the Zealots are not even halfway done. He does have some Zealots out here on the top side. They're going to try and flank and get behind on those Dragoons and get us around on them. More Zealots, of course, are also on the way here. The fight here inside of Toki's base has stopped. Dragoons now microing away. Zerglings coming in to flank on those Zealots. Still only on 4 of those drones. fight is very tense here. It's microing away, but there's so many Zealots that this might be too much to handle. But more Dragoons coming in from the backside there. He's microing his way out. Dragoons somewhat staying alive. He's managing to micro the low HP ones back, but now he's microed himself into a surround. And the Zerglings are even blocking the Dragoons. It means he's losing a couple of the Dragoons there. But eventually he does micro his way out of that sticky situation. More Zerglings on the way, more Zealots on the way there from the backside as well. Adding on a lot of gateways there, probably going for Zealot lag speed as well. So you can, that's why he's making so many of those gateways, so he can start pumping out mass Zealots. It looks like Mong is going for the exact same tactic, adding on a lot of 6 gateways at the same time, so he can start pumping out 10 Zealots at a time. But it looks like Toki has the upper hand here, unless the Zealot speed is going to be finishing up soon. Hiya is keeping the enemy away. Dragoons firing away on the gateways. Gateways are going to be going down. Another wave of Zealots is about to be spawning, but it's taking a little bit too long. More Dragoons on the way here, reinforcing Dragoons that are already on the scene, taking down those gateways and ruining the production that Mong has. It honestly looks like Mong is going to be the victim of those Dragoons here. Zealots there trying to catch those Zerglings. Zerglings microing their way out of this sticky situation, keeping those. He actually gets a surround on them. I'm going to change the color here real quick so we can see it better. Pretty nice fight there, but the Zealots are simply too strong. It looks like Toki and the game is looking really well. The game is looking really good there for Toki and Hiya, but of course Hiya only has 5 drones. He kept his economy really small. This is pretty much an all-in strategy where you have to deal some really significant damage early on into the game and get some an overhand over the double Protoss. But the double Protoss is honestly just too strong to do this into. And they noticed it very quickly. Although I do have to add, this is most likely just a series they're playing for fun. But it's always fun to see pro players try their hands at fastest map team play. Considering it's pretty much all about micro and macro and pretty much not about cannons whatsoever. You just have 3 cannons here, but the cannons are pretty much doing nothing at all. Some great micro here and there. But since this was game number 1, and I've got a couple of games in store, let's move on to game number 2 and keep ourselves amused. Now for game number 2, we are going into a matchup that is a little bit more balanced. Protoss Zerg against Protoss Zerg. Same teams. Hiya and Toki against Mong and Minchul. Last time around, both Hiya and Toki put up a pretty good fight. The Dragoons did a lot of work. The Zerglings also did a lot of work, but of course, investing so heavily into the Zerglings kept the drone count low, kept the economy low, and eventually the double Protoss just outscaled on their economy by having the superior worker count. Protoss Zerg into Protoss is honestly just a very lopsided event. The Zerg does have more early fighting power, but that very quickly falls off. Given the condition, you cannot make workers, and that's it's also detrimental, always detrimental. Specifically on fastest map, Protoss just has the edge of their probes, can pretty much just throw down whatever they want and keep mining. Same for Terran, can keep mining. Though they do, of course, need those SCVs to start building the barracks and all that kind of stuff. They simply have more workers mining. That's a huge advantage. So of course the pylon comes out at 7-9, gateway comes out at 10-10, well 10-17. Both Zergs starting off with, well, one Zerg is starting off with a hatchery. Mong here on the top side starting off with a hatchery instead of starting off with the pool. Whereas Mulgogi, aka Hiya, starts off with the gas and the pool because he wants to start off with getting that very early Zergling speed and getting those Zerglings out way quicker than Mong appears to want to have them out. This might upset the balance quite a bit, although on the other hand, Ship Carry is going for 3 gateways and no gas, whereas Toki is going for a gas and a gateway and of course Cybernetic Core, because he is once again repeating the Dragoon strategy. He wants to go for Dragoons. He's going to rely on Hiya to get the upper hand with his Zerglings in the early game. Zerglings are quick, and if you have really great micro, you can pull off a lot of damage with those Zerglings. But if that's not going to happen, then this game might turn into a very one-sided win for Mong, Tube, and Ship Carry, given that Mong will have a bigger economy than Hiya does. And Mong does have more experience than Hiya playing fastest map. He's been playing fastest map for about 9 months, maybe 10 months now. And he's played it more than he's played on the regular maps, or on the ladder. He's pretty much 60%, maybe say even 70% fast map player now. So Zerglings just happily running around. Probe has found where Toki is. They also know where Hiya is. And of course, likewise, Toki and Hiya know where Mong and Ship Carry are located. There's 4 Zealots out there on the middle of the map, stronger than those 6 Zerglings that Hiya has there on the map, but more Zerglings are on the way as well. Zergling speed is about to be finished up. Looks like Mong is still not thinking about making any units. He's just gonna let Minchul fend for himself and rely on this single Sunken to keep him alive. But of course, Zerglings are now on the way. Zerglings speed is being researched. Zerglings are also being produced here for Mong. Zerglings now reaching destination, trying to get us around on that Sunken. But Mong very smartly places that drone there to block off. But it still happens, still gets us around on those Sunken. Now the Zerglings are spawning, but is Hiya going to get himself some kills on those drones? They're now being pulled away. More Zerglings have spawned. More Zerglings are being moved into the fight. I'm going to change the colors so we can more easily see. And it looks like Mong bit off more than he can chew by going for the risk, trying to get himself more drones, and Hiya just simply got the overhand there. But now at the same time, a fight is happening here inside of Mulgogi's base. Mulgogi, Toki's trying to get some done with his Zealots, but Ship Carry simply has more units there, and it looks like Mong is still somewhat alive. Hiya is going for the pool first, electing not to kill those drones, but as a result, the drones stay alive and the pool stays alive as well. He's going to try to snipe one more, but no, it's not working. Zealots here chasing Zealots. Zealots trying to get entry on Hiya's base. Hiya has a Sunken there in the back, meaning they are well protected behind the hatcheries, the pool, and the Zerglings, meaning he cannot get onto them, but he can, of course, kill this pool. So he's going for the pool instead. Zerglings here running away, being chased by Mong Zerglings, but that's not what we're focusing on right now, because we're trying to focus on the pool, but it looks like Hiya and Toki managed to force Minchul's Zealots away. Toki still staying there to kill those Zealots, but it looks like this fight goes into the favor of Hiya and Toki. At the same time, of course, you're on the middle of the map, a very massive Zergling versus Zergling fight is happening. And I want to say that Mong is going to win. Yes, Mong wins the fight. He simply has more Zerglings because he has 3 hatcheries. He did lose his pool in the end there. That's quite peculiar. He did lose that one in the end. Looks like Dragoon range and level 1 weapon upgrade is on the way for Minchul here. And Toki is a little bit further ahead than Minchul. They both have the same worker count, but he went for Dark Templars instead, not going for Dragoon range or Zealot legs. He actually is going for Zealot legs. He's going for Zealots and Dark Templars, whereas Minchul is going for just Zealot legs and Dragoon range. So he might be mixing it up into a combination of Zealots and Dragoons. Dark Templars now entering the middle of the map. Where is he going? Is he going to try to go and deal some damage here to either Minchul, or is he going to try and damage Mong? He's got 2 options. Looks like he's heading towards Mong's base. There's one over here inside of Mong's base, but it's moving away from the hatcheries. Whereas Hiya is now getting around on those Sunkens, but the Sunkens are too beefy and are getting assisted by those drones, meaning they are not going to die. Overlord gets pulled back because Minchul pinked out the Dark Templar. Dark Templar now taking damage from the Sunken, meaning, oh, he's still trying to go for it. Oh, he got stuck and he has to run away. And the Dark Templar actually does go down because he's focused on fighting here on the middle of the map. But the fight is not really going well for Toki and Hiya. Looks like Minchul has single-handedly gotten himself the upper hand here on the middle. But of course, Toki does have Zealot speed, and that does give him some options. Minchul looks to be going for the killing blow here on Hiya. Zealots are moving in, only a small amount of Zerglings there in the mix, only 5 drones are left alive. He gets in between the hatchery and the Sunkens, meaning that he can now attack the Sunkens, but now the Zealots are coming in from behind from Toki. Toki gets a base around there on those Zealots. More Zealots are coming from the base. Dark Templars maybe as well. No, he stopped. He discontinued making Dark Templars because he's forced against the Zerg, meaning that there's already detection there in those overlords. Eventually the fight does turn out in favor of Toki and Hiya, but it looks like Minchul did take down all of the drones. Only a single drone is alive. Only 3 drones, 4 drones. Where's drone number? Oh, there's one in the top side. Yeah, he saved that one, but I think he forgot that that one exists. And now, of course, the unit combination that I mentioned earlier, Dragoons and Zealots, is out here for Minchul. Toki's gonna try to run by and get some damage down on him, or is he going for Mong Tube? Mong Tube, I don't think that is the best choice there. I don't think going for Mong is the best choice because he got 5 Sunkens there, all behind his hatcheries, and looks like Toki knows, and Toki goes for an attack on Minchul. Has more Zealots than Minchul has units inside of his base, but Minchul has more cannons there in the back, Dragoons are in the back as well. This is somewhat of a last-ditch effort. Kills the cannon there in the back. Strings going in as well. Strings getting us around on the cannon there in the back next to the Nexus. But there's more cannons there in the surrounding. He might have to kill that one at the back there as well. But no. Dragoons take care of the Zerg. Now the Zealots are coming in as well. Trying to get us around on something. There's a Dark Archon there, a regular Archon there in the mix as well. He pulls back, knowing that he's biting off more than he can chew. Minchul defends this pretty well, but he decides to go back in. Once he notices that the Dragoons are marching backwards, trying to get some more damage in on those Dragoons. While more units are streaming out from his base, but he's still remaining pretty small. Worker counts are somewhat the same. 39 for Minchul, 36 for Toki. Toki now comes in with more Dragoons. Zelda, of course, also helping as well. He's trying to get a block here on Minchul so he can keep him contained. It might be a little bit too late into the game, because Hiya is simply too small with his 8 workers against Mong's 46 drones. It's going to be a very one-sided win, even though the fight up until now has been quite exciting. But Minchul is just buying time for Mong to get bigger and bigger, and Mong is looking to be getting way too big, because now he's got Overlords already finished up. He has that Spire already finished, and 12 Mules are now on the way, and he's got level 1 Carapace for Mules on the way as well. Minchul does seem to be contained within his base, but I don't think this is going to be enough to keep contained forever, because those 4 cannons are not that strong against all these Dragoons, all those Zealots, and of course those Mules that are spawning as well. Mules now leaving the base, going into the middle of the map, going to try to hunt for Overlords, I'm sure. No, he's pulling back. He wants to regroup before he goes for the offensive move. Overlord's still hanging here. He has all the information he needs on the state of Hiya. Hiya now on 13 drones. He's trying to recover the best he can, but Toki's not yet big enough to fight against all of this. He's not big enough by himself to fight against all those Mules. Mules now entering the middle of the map, but he flies into those cannons, losing a couple of those Mules. Loses a single one. Dragoon's now trying to go for the chase on those Mules, because those Mules are trying to kill Hiya, or so they think, but no, it's not going to happen. Minchul stays strong. Minchul is walking up his units in front of those cannons there on the middle. Mong pulls back his Mules. And here we can see Toki goes towards Hiya, because he's expecting those Mules to go and kill Hiya, but those Mules are never arriving on the scene. He just pick himself up an Overlord. But now the attack is happening here on the front on those cannons, because Toki's units are not there to protect those cannons and ensure that the block survives. And there's only a single pylon there on the block, which means that he only has to kill that single pylon. There's a single pylon there on the top side as well, but all the cannons are now unpowered, because they're just out of the range of that pylon. Mules do go down, but eventually the fight goes in the favor of Minchul and Mong. And this looks like it's GG, and Toki and Hiya call the GG as Minchul and Mong win that fight by just going for the extended game. Although I'm not sure how extended you can call a 9 minutes 52-second match. But Mong goes for the economy build, Hiya goes for the early aggression build, which did deal some damage to Mong, but not enough damage, as Minchul was left untouched and managed to get himself the overhand over that very early gas build that Toki elected, which gives him less units out on the map within the first 5 minutes of the match, which let Minchul control the pace for the first 5 minutes. Close game number 2, scores 2-0. Mong and Minchul, of course, ahead at the moment. And looks like it's time for game number 3, where we will see whether Toki and Hiya can miraculously make a comeback into this series or not. So for game number 3, we got Hiya, who's using the name Mulgogi White, on the Terran. We've got Mong and Ship Carry, aka Minchul, on the Protoss, double Protoss. Purple Protoss here, Minchul. Pale green is Mong 2. Then we've got Toki on the olive green Protoss, and here on the top side of the map we've got Mulgogi, aka Hiya, on the Cyan Terran. This should be a bit more exciting than the last 2 games. I think I actually had the game timer turned on for the last replay. I'm not too sure. I think I did, which is I did. In fact, I did have it turned on. So the entire last game we could see the timer, which is kind of spoilerish. But this time I've got it turned off. So Mulgogi starts off with an 8-10 barracks, followed by a depot, no gas. He's not making a gas, which is really odd for Korean 2 versus 2, because usually they go for factories really quick. There is the gas. Alright, so he is making the gas, but it's a little bit delayed. Usually people make the depot first, Then they go for the barracks. They make a depot first, and the gas, and then they make a barracks. But this time around, it's a little bit mixed up. He's going for a different order, and I'm not sure how that is going to work out for them. He does have Marines out earlier, so he can defend himself a little bit easier against that first Zealot that's going to be coming out from Minchul. But on the downside, his Vultures are going to take longer to spawn than if he had gone for the build I mentioned before. Starts making a bunker there in the front. Could hide this one as well. Starts a bunker there in the front. He's going to put that Marine in. Zealot is almost out for Minchul. Zealot is almost out for Mong as well. Perfectly synced up, as you can see, both at the same timings. Toki is a little bit behind, but he did have his second gateway out quicker than either Minchul and Mong had their second gateway out. But his third gateway, yeah, seems to align up just perfectly fine. See here, all three coming out at the same time. All three here coming out at the same time as well. Tokis are a little bit mismatched. He's making a cannon there for his Nexus because he knows that the upper hand for the early game is in the hand of Mong and... I'm going to change the colors. It's in the hand of Mong and Minchul. There, the very first Zealot makes its way onto the probe. Probe actually dies. He pulled them off a little bit too late. He's fighting against two Zealots now there. Another probe does not go down. Probe stays alive. That's good for Toki. Bunker there in the front. Making the depot there as well. Trying to wall off. Now, there's the first factory. Factory number 2 there as well. Gas already coming out here for Mong. Cannon there as well to protect himself against Zealots trying to kill those probes. Same story here for Minchul, but there is actually a probe. Actually, he lost a lot of probes. I didn't see it on the minimap, but it looks like he lost about 4 probes there in comparison to, well, just by looking at Mong. How many does Mong have? How many does Ship Carry have? Ship Carry has 5 less now. He's 5 probes behind on Mong and 2 or 3 behind on Toki. Which means that the lead is technically in favor of Toki and Hiya, but Hiya still does not have Vultures out. He is recharging mines. There's a bunker there protecting all of this, but this, I think, is just out of the range. And Minchul notices. Minchul's going for the attack on the machine shop. Marines unbunkering. And the Vulture does come out, but he might actually kill that depot there. And killing the depot there is going to get Hiya supply stuck, which will be absolutely disastrous. It's going to take a while before he gets that supply chain unclogged. Then he has to make a new one immediately and gets stuck again. Because now he's on 34, gets stuck again, which means he's going to get stuck on the same count of workers for a while. But he does have those Vultures out, and his Vultures might be a game changer if he can micro them well enough and kill some stuff. Looks like Mong is going for a defensive cannon wall there. He's choking up. Vultures there on the middle, trying to fish for something to do. He's going to try to fish for some Mong, or is he going to try to place mines right in front of Mong's base? There come the mines, but some of those mines might be within range of detection. And he very smartly sends out a single Zealot, and the single Zealot actually takes out 3 mines, which is pretty big. More mines now being placed to wall Mong off. So they're now going for Minchul. Minchul already has 2 cannons out at his main. Already has 2 Dragoons out as well. Zealots coming in, Vultures coming in as well. Mong is very slowly trying to clear out all the mines that are on the middle of the map by using a single Zealot, sending it out into those mines. He opened up a path, so now he can come in for the flank from behind on those Vultures. And it doesn't look like Hiya and Toki saw it happening, because they don't have vision off that side there. But now he sees that. He sees that the Zealots are behind him. Zealots are actually getting on top of the mines, but the mines... One of them explodes on top of the Zealots, another one explodes there as well. Working pretty well. Toki's going for the cannons there behind the gateways. He's gonna take down a couple of them, but the Dragoons are firing away on the Zealots quite well. And the cannons are quite beefy at this stage in the game because there's no upgrades. Now those Mong Zealots getting taken down very slowly by Hiya's micro, but the Dragoons are out as well, and Dragoons are pretty damn amazing against Vultures. 5 total factories now out for Hiya. Of course, there are 2 cannons in the front, mostly intended to keep those Zealots out of his base. He has Zealot lags on the way, Dragoon range on the way as well. Likewise for Minchul, I want to say. But Minchul is instead going for a robotics facility so he can start making a detector. But more, here are those Zealots coming in from Toki. Gonna focus on the cannon. Cannon already lost some HP. Probes are going to try to buck into the Zealots, but it's not working. And more units coming out here from Hiya. Vultures and tank as well. The tank there in the mix is absolutely the game changer. Placing the mines to keep Mong out. And he goes in. Zealots there hammering away on the Dragoons on the probe there as well. 26 probes in total. loses a couple of them, but now the real problem are the vultures with the tank there in the back. Dragoons coming from behind, Zealots coming from behind as well. Tank has to siege up. Does he have siege upgrade? He does not have siege upgrade. Siege upgrade is pretty damn close, and he only has to do is siege up and kill those probes there. Vultures now coming in. Focuses down the tank. Tank goes down. Cannon goes down as well. A lot of vultures, probes there have died, but not enough have died. And it looks like he has, and well, actually those are Toki Zealots. Toki Zealots there in the mix. Probes are still not mining, is fighting, and it looks like Minchul actually calls GG. Well, he doesn't call it GG, he just leaves. Mong leaves as well. Hiya and Toki take game number 3. It's a very hectic game. It's pretty tough to cast 2 versus 2 with vultures in the mix when the pace is so high, because it's pretty much once units are out, it's non-stop fighting, and the fighting is pretty intense, pretty micro heavy. And yeah, the game just progresses very quick. Toki played it very well, getting Dragoons out there as well. Almost has Dragoon range, mostly focused on Zealots without speed. Mostly just there to support those vultures from Hiya. And he did a really good job supporting those vultures, letting them get their mines down and letting them progress onto the Nexus. And also the colors that match did not help whatsoever. So score is 2-1. Time for game number 3. So let's get right into, game number 4. Let's get right into game number 4 and see how that one plays out. Game number 4, we once again have a mix-up in the matchup. We've got Mong on the Terran ship carry, aka Minchul on the Protoss. Then we've got Hiya once again playing the Zerg. And Toki is back on the Protoss. Gonna speed up the early phase a little bit. Just a little bit. And right about the 40-second mark, I'm gonna go back to normal speed. Right. So let's see how they're going to play the Protoss Terran. And this is what I meant. I think this is the superior build for fastest map as a Terran in the 2 versus 2 when you're planning on going for mech. You start out with the gas, then the depot, and you go for a little bit of a delayed barracks, somewhere right around here, so that you can make a bunker here and protect all your buildings with that single bunker here. Barracks there. 3 SCVs on the gas. He's going to make the barrack with this SCV. Yeah, and he gets his he gets 2 factories out way earlier than Hiya got his factories out last game. In the end, Hiya did manage to pull it off, but I personally don't like the delay on the vultures. He does have a little bit more economy though, but less a delayed punching power, so to speak. So he's trying to disrupt that SCV, got some damage out on the SCV. SCV is returning some damage on the probe, using another SCV to finish the barracks. He's still trying to disrupt it by a little bit, but the micro is not really working out that well, although he didn't take any additional damage on the probe, because the SCV only has melee range, whereas the probe has a little bit more range. More importantly though, first zealot has spawned here for Toki. He's already on the way, trying to harass Mong. Will it work? First marine is on the way. Is he going to make a bunker here as well? There comes the bunker. There comes the first factory. Factory number 2 is soon on the way as well. He's already putting that SCV in place, I think. Or is he going to make a cannon? He's going to try to cannon push on Mong. That would be interesting to see. Hiya here getting us around Minchul's zealot, but the zealot manages to wriggle its way out. Oh, there he gets. Almost. Come on, get it. No, 3 zealots against 6 Zerglings. 3 zealots are stronger. 2 cannons are on the way, or single cannons on the way. Single pylon there in the mix as well. More zealots are now coming back to base, because he wants to fight against those Zerglings. Zerglings are doing something, mostly just distracting him. More Zerglings are on the way. He has Zergling speed almost finished up. He has his second hatchery already on the way, unlike last game, where he's relying on just a single added on hatchery. Cannons are here coming down inside of Mong's base. There's a bunker there in the front. It looks like they're planning on separating the 2 players from each other, and he's just going for the cannon push. But there's also a cannon being made here behind the bunker inside of Mong's base by Minchul. These are Minchul's cannons, Minchul's pylons. Zealots coming in through the front. Bunker is going to go down. They might be able to take down those cannons there as well, because the cannons are now exposed to the bunker there in the back, but the bunker does not deal enough damage against those Zealots and the Zerglings to really make a difference here in this fight. Cannons there in the back have finished up. 2 cannons here being made in the front to take down those depots. This is pretty much a Zergling cannon push that we very often see within the fastest map scene in the western half of the world. He's got the machine shop added on. He's making a tank. He's got siege mode on the way as well. But this cannon here is pretty close. Those cannons are really close as well. He's going to lose those depots, and he's going to have to make new depots as well. He's going to have to keep repairing this factory. Otherwise, he can go for the machine shop on this factory or the factory itself and take it down. He's going for the factory itself. It seems cannons are both finished up. The depots are going down. Minchul cannot do much. Minchul is instead electing to go for the counterattack on Hiya, but Hiya has those 2 Sunkers there in the back and Zerglings there in the front as well, so I don't think he's going to make much of a difference there. Factory goes down. The tank does spawn. The tank is locked in between the Zealots and the cannon. Yeah, that tank is going to go down. He didn't finish siege mode either. He was forced to lift up that factory at the last possible stack imaginable. Now he's just trying to buy as much time as he can. Oh, tank takes a cannon shot. Tank goes down. It looks like Mong has honestly been eliminated. There's a cannon there in the back. There's 2 cannons being made here on the side. But this entire side is exposed. And those cannons here finishing up before those cannons here finish up, which means his depot is going down there as well. The machine shop is also being lost. Bunker is getting attacked. There's no SCVs on the bunker to repair it. And yeah, Mong is done for. And it looks like Toki and Hiya actually managed to win another game and pull the score into 2-2, because I don't see any single scenario where Minchul can carry this game to a win all by himself. He's on 26 workers against Toki's 24. Toki order making a 7 score, adding on 2 more gateways. Likewise, Minchul is doing the same. Minchul is going for a Citadel of Adun. He's aiming for Speed Zealots, but it's too late. Mong has died, rolled over, called the GG. He's actually the first player to call the GG. I really like that from Mong. He's a really well-mannered player. So, game number 4 goes to Toki and Hiya. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting them to lose, but Toki pulls off a really great cannon push there that Mong simply couldn't do anything against, because I have to admit, the mech build does expose the Terran to specifically this build from Toki very hard. It's basically the hard counter to the build that Mong was doing. And that's a cannon push supported by Zealots and Zerglings. It's a very hard counter. If magically the Terran does make it through, the Terran can punch back extremely hard and pretty much win on just the counter itself immediately after the Terran holds it. But that happens so rarely that it would be really tough to find you an example where it happens. So, it's time for game number 5. Who is going to win? Ship Carry and Mong? Is it going to be Mulgogi or Toki? Let's move forward to game number 5. So for game number 5, we're going back to the matchup we had in game number 1. But this time, different teams have the Zerg. Mong and Ship Carry have the Zerg here. Ship Carry here. Minchul on the orange Zerg in the bottom left corner of the map, whereas Mong Tube here is right next to him, playing the olive green Protoss up against the yellow. I think this is Hiya, and here the other yellow, Toki. So we kind of have a team color coordination going on. I honestly like that. It makes it a little bit easier to cast and notice what the hell is going on. I'm rather curious to see what Minchul is going to do. Is he going to conform to the standard Korean 2 versus 2 build, where he's going for a very low economy with Zerglings, or is he going to switch it up and go for a higher economy build? This looks like he's saving up for a hatchery. He's not going for the pool, he's going for a hatchery first. Hatchery being placed there in the back. This should be... Yeah, I'm just going to keep my eye on this, see what he's going to do. Mong, of course, starts with the 7-9 pylon, followed by a 10-17 gateway. Same story here for Toki and Hiya, although Toki is going for that earlier second gateway, but the third gateway has about the same timing as gateway number 2 and 3 for the other two players, which means that his first zealot will be out earlier, his second zealot will be out a bit earlier as well, but then it will all about even out. There's a very small optimization difference there for Toki. The only downside is that not all of his zealots will come out at the exact same time as they will for the other players, where they can synergize the zealot spawns more easily than Toki can. Toki already adding on a gas, forge already being added on here for Hiya. There's the forge. Same story here for Mong. Forge is out there as well. They're now scouting each other. All the zealots are out on the middle of the map, going towards the middle, trying to fish for something to fight. And honestly, it looks like Minchul is going for a high economy build. He built the pool there as a wall. He can fit another sunken here. Can fit a bunch of sunkens here in a row of 2. I really like this SimCity. There comes the first gas. He's making 2 Zerglings now, probably for mostly scouting purposes. Cannon being made there in the back of Mong's base. Mong also made a pylon there in the front, trying to get a choke up, but looks like Toki and Hiya are trying to disrupt that choke from going down. There's a single out there in the base. It's gonna change the colors so we can see more easily. I mean, Toki and Hiya already have pretty much the same color, so it doesn't really matter if I change it because it doesn't obscure any information. Microing around that cannon, trying to take the cannon down. Minchul really has to start sending over his Zerglings now, or maybe send those Zerglings into counterattack on either Hiya or Toki. But it looks like Hiya has a cannon there up on the main. There's no cannon here, and he knows because he's got that probe there, but he does have Cybernetic score already out. He's going for a robotics facility really early on into the game. Zerglings now coming in. He's got no units around his nexus. He's only his probes to rely on, and probes now attacking the Zerglings now attacking the probes. The fight here has commenced. Mong has fought off the units of Hiya and Toki. Now more Zerglings are coming in from Minchul's base, ready to enter Toki's base. Toki is trying to get onto those. Minchul's trying to get onto those probes, but he's not really working all that well. Although he did kill 3. I think he did kill 3 of them. I think he killed 3, maybe 4 of those probes. Same story for Mong. He also lost about 4 or 3 probes. Means Hiya now has the most probes, which gives him the economic edge over the other 2 players. Zealots here on the middle trying to zone off the other zealots, but it does look like the upper hand is now in favor of Mulgogi and Toki. The fact that Toki didn't go for a forge over cannons is really exposing him to those Zerglings, and those Zerglings are being marked really well by Minchul here. Is really managing to at least kill a couple of those probes. Toki falling behind a little bit further, a little bit more. He's now 1 probe behind on Mong, maybe 1.5. 2 zealots there also in the side there. Really smart move from Mong. More Zerglings once again make their way around of Toki's units, but Toki this time placing all of his units there around the probes to zone those units away so that he can keep protecting his workers. But instead, it looks like Minchul is going for the robotic facility there. He's going to take down a robotic facility. Same time fighting happening at Mong's choke. Cannons not going down. He did kill 3 cannons there in total. Looks like they're trading blow for blow, but it looks like Toki is feeling it the most because he lost his robotics, had to make another one, which slows down his Reaver tech and his drop shuttle by quite a bit. Now losing probes there on the gas as well, but it looks like the counterattack is happening here as well because Hiya is going for the counterattack. But there he sees those Zerglings, he sees the Zerglings, he sees that he cannot go in. Spire already up for Minchul. Minchul's going for the Zergling Mulist combination. This looks to be the most interesting match of the set so far, in my honest opinion. Because the Zerg is doing a really great job at keeping up and becoming bigger and bigger. Olive Green Mong here is trying to get us around on those zealots. Can he do it? He gets some of them, catches some of them, but they do manage to escape. Hiya keeps his zealots alive. Minchul trying to fish for another opening to sneak by and get into Toki's space, but Toki this time around does have those cannons there, but if he manages to get in between those gateways, he can kill those cannons. Mong, of course, being very smart, puts his probes here to block access to the cannons, so it looks like actually Minchul almost gets in. He gets around on the robotic facility. He's going to try to take down the Robo. And actually, he does look to be taking down the Robo just in time, or is it going? He takes down the Robo. Once again, delays the Reaver from Toki. Toki's not having a great match here, keeps getting harassed by mostly Minchul. Minchul's been doing a really great job with those Zerglings. And Toki has been taking some really bad hits. Keeps getting slowed down, and the more he gets slowed down, the more time Minchul has to get his Mules up and running. He's got 5 of them on the way. Mong's also getting a little bit bigger, but now a huge attack is coming onto Mong, who only has a couple of Zealots, a couple of Cannons, and a couple of Dragoons there to defend himself with. Those Dragoons there from Hiya are gonna be dealing a lot of damage, but he decides to pull back because, well, why not? He needs those units alive to fight against the impending doom of those Mulisks. 4, 5 of them have already spawned, 6, 7 of them are still on the way. He's going for a 12 Mulisk stack. But looks like Hiya is not planning on letting that happen. They're now baiting out Mong so they can get a surround on Mong's units. There, Mong is getting caught out there in between 2 armies. Can he micro his way out of here, or is he going to lose his mass? He does somewhat sneak his way out of there, but he's taking more and more damage, and his front is honestly now here in the front exposed. Hiya can go for it. Hiya can go for the counterattack, but will he try to chase down those units from Mong? No, he goes for the counterattack, but he goes for the counterattack on Minchul instead of the counterattack on Mong, even though Mong is now completely exposed. Mule is flying in over the map, going towards Hiya's base. Hiya already has a couple of cannons up and running, but those cannons might not be enough. There's only 4 cannons, but the Dragoons are now coming back to base as well, but they have to walk all the way around. Cannons going down. How many Mules is this? This is 12 Mules. More Mules are on the way, but now the base is getting attacked as well. Can he defend against this? These Sungans are really hard to get onto for Hiya. Units coming in from the back as well. Mong is now here saving his partner from what would have been a certain death, but it looks like he's going to be staying alive. Now here, Minchul is taking down those cannons still, but he's losing his Mules in the process. He's got 7 of them left. He lost 5, might lose 6. Minchul here stayed alive. Units from Mong now going in from behind, trying to get some damage down on those cannons, trying to prevent them from going up, or maybe he's going for the Nexus. Looks like he's going for the Nexus. Mule is going for the Nexus as well. Will the Nexus survive, or will the Nexus go down? He has to send back his units really, really quick. Cannons spawning. It looks like the Nexus is not going to survive this, and it looks like this is the GG here. Because he cancels a lot of his units, so he has some minerals to start building a new Nexus, but he doesn't have room for a Nexus. He's going to have to clear out these 2 buildings there on the top side if he wants to make a new Nexus, or maybe kill this stuff here on the bottom side. Hiya is in a really bad spot. Hiya is in a really, really bad spot. He does manage to kill most of the Mules though, and they might be planning on going for the counterattack there on Minchul. They do have a big mass. Minchul is still pretty small, took a lot of damage from the attack earlier from Hiya. Hiya is going for the counterattack, but there's a lot of Sunkens being made here in the front for Minchul, but will those Sunkens be enough? Mule is still running around the map. There's Toki. Toki has a dropship. 2 Templars in there as well. Minchul spreading out his overlords on the side here, so you can see the shuttle, but attacks here happening on the top side. Sunkens? The Sunkens might just cut it. But Zealot's coming in from behind as well. Toki failed to keep them out, because Toki is focusing on the drop. Drop now flies in. There's 2 Scorches there in the mix, but there comes the Storm. He storms everything. And Mong lost his entire probe count. He's only got 5 of them left, and 500 minerals as well. He does end up winning the fight. That's a Dark Templar there in the mix. Let's see the colors so we can see. Alright, it looks like Mong and Minchul lost the fight there. Huge fight win there for Toki and Hiya. But now the Zealots are coming in for the counterattack from Mong. Mong is going backdoor straight into the cannons and try to deny those cannons from coming up. He does get the cannons down, and there's a Dark Templar there in the mix, and there's no detection, which means the Dark Templar now has pretty much a free fucking party to take down everything he wants. And it looks like Hiya killed his own forge to get that Nexus down, which now inadvertently gives this Dark Templar free house. He can just do anything he wants, take down everything he sees. But the drop is coming in here. Ooh, he takes down the shuttle with 2 Scorches. Great reaction there from Minchul, sending those 2 Scorches out. The Dark Templar there still killing whatever the hell it sees. He already got 10 kills and is planning on getting more. Probes there running away to a new base. He already made pylons there on the sides. He only has to get cannons there in the mix. Dark Templar still chasing. Zealous there trying to cut off the escape of the Dragoons. And he goes in, but he's caught out in between 2 armies instead. That's not what he was aiming for. This game is honestly now in the hands of Toki. Can he keep Mong small, or can he kill Minchul's workers? It does look like Toki has enough units to kill the front side here of Mong's base. Mong has not been able to recover because he's mostly just been focusing on using his minerals to get probes back, but his probe count is so low that his income is negligible. He's got pretty much no income whatsoever, so units coming in here from the front. Those Dragoons, the Zealots are being kept at bay from those cannons for quite a while, but once those Zealots here go down, those Dragoons will have a field day. Got an Observer there in the mix as well. Alright, the Zealots have gone down, cannons are going down as well. A couple of pilots are coming in from the side, but Minchul is too small because he's only got 27 drones. Yes, it was 48 from Toki, and Toki's got more Dragoons, more Zealots on the way as well. Now all he has to do is move his units in, go in from the side here, and kill Mong. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do. He's keeping a couple of units there on the middle of the map to keep those Hylists away, and with the other half he's going in, and he's moving in deeper. He knows he just has to walk in deeper, go for the cannons, and Mong calls GG because he knows he cannot fight this off. Minchul, as always, does not call the GG. And yeah, that was an intense third game. Hiya paid the price, but Toki, in the end, left untouched. Although he pretty much got he did get harassed a lot within the first 5 minutes, but he recovered really well. And all the focus from Minchul and Mong went towards Hiya, and Hiya. It took a lot of time, a lot of resources to kill Hiya, and that allowed the drop to just come in uncontested and kill all of Mong's workers. If Mong had managed to dodge that drop, if an overlord had been here on the bottom side to provide vision of that shuttle, I'm sure he would have dodged the drop and kept his economy up and running, and then the game would have been won by Minchul and Mong. 100% sure. But nope, it was not meant to happen. Instead, Toki and Hiya win the game. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the cast. A little 2 versus 2 between pros and top level fastest map players. A little bit different, a little bit more difficult to cast even, because the pace, as I've mentioned before, the pace is just so high. I'm sure I was even barely understandable for stretches of time because I just felt the need to have to talk so stupidly fast to keep up. I should probably cast more 2 versus 2 so I can find a way in between where I don't have to talk too fast and I can remain understandable for the viewer. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, because we must go even further beyond.